arguing, making insults about board members or other members of the public, or speaking out of turn. Members of the public who fail to honor these conditions may be asked to leave the meeting, as stated in Resolution 2025-011, approved on March 5th, 2025. Okay. First up.
Good evening, everyone, Commissioner.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I can do that.
I'll make a motion to open up the public comment.
I second.
Can I have a roll call? We're all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good
Continue,
evening.
I apologize.
Okay, good evening. My name is Louis Hampton. I'm a resident of 98 Levis Farm from Mount Holly, New Jersey. First question is, can I ask how is the fire training that the fire department went? I just want.
Hey, Lois, as the chair said, I'm sorry, do you mind? As the chair mentioned, this public comment section we're having right now is going to be just to discuss the next item on our agenda, which is a resolution appointing the Director of Fire Services and authorizing the chairwoman to negotiate employment agreement with the same by title on the second reading. This is the board's second reading of the resolution that was on the agenda of the special meeting that they held in September. Okay, so if you have questions about the fire training, we would love to talk to you about that at the end in our second public comment section. But if you have anything about this resolution, now would be the time to bring it.
Okay, I will put Mr. Mason Chief as the new director. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis. Next up, next row. Anyone?
I always have something to say.
Just a reminder, it is specifically to this resolution.
Yeah, I'll talk about this resolution. Jeff Eversmeyer, 203 Pleasant Street. I have a question. Since I happened to be out of town, I didn't know we were having a special meeting last month. And I kind of looked around, couldn't find it anywhere. So here you publish it in the Courier Post, written notice in Township Clerk and all this other stuff. It seemed like it was lacking on the last minutes, or the last meeting that you went to. So I don't know why we don't have to follow the same protocol from one meeting to the next, even if it's a special meeting. And I see we got a new solicitor now. What happened to our last solicitor? Did he quit? We fire him? What happened to him? Is there a reason?
Subject to this resolution, please.
Oh, okay, well, so I'm hoping that you guys went back out there and looked at the candidates who applied last month. They were applying for the same position instead of just moving forward with the same person. Because there were very qualified people, one from Vincent County, one was actually within the ranks for 30 years. So I don't know how you can sit there and just go back to the same person who wasn't supposed to be on the director and just reappoint him.
That's your opinion.
Well, I'm just letting you know my opinion. That's what I'm doing here.
We appreciate it.
So, it's very clear that you guys have a person that you want in there, and you're just gonna do whatever it takes to get him in there. So, I think you should listen to the residents, because in the last meeting, before he was appointed, there was one person that liked him, everybody else had problems. And then you're gonna reappoint the same person, I take it. So maybe you should think twice before you do it.
Thank you, Mr. Eversmeyer. Next.
Hello, Tara Usser, 416 Buttonwood Street.
Hi, Tara, how are you?
So, in regards to this resolution, the first reading was done at the special meeting on September 19th. And it's my understanding that one of the commissioners never got official notification of that meeting. So, doesn't that like nullify everything done at the first and second reading?
No, it does not.
To not officially notify the elected official that there's a meeting? Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I did not say that that was the case. The answer to your initial question was no.
Stone Laraway, 114 Branch Street.
Good evening. I can't see that. What's it say?
Okay, what's that?
Compassion, accountability, transparency, and integrity.
Gosh, something better than that, come on.
Oh, it's not untouched.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Laraway.
My 3 minutes is not open.
You have your time.
Yes, I do. Thanks. Maybe if you weren't on your phone, you'd know.
I gotta eat dinner, come on.
This is 3 minutes, you can do it once.
Next, please.
Good evening, my name is Eric Johnson, 21 Garden Street. I'm speaking first and foremost as a father and as a member of this community. One of the major points I would like to make is that with us being here in action, activated, there's a community presence that we feel devoid of. On top of that, response time. I know I've said this before at a previous meeting. Response time is one of the biggest factors in the service that we do. Fire grows within 10 feet every 30 seconds. So the longer we have to wait for other municipalities to make their way here, the more damage that is to people's property, lives are in danger. One of the biggest accomplishments that I would like to say that I've seen so far is the director has been able to gather about 18 members with multiple qualifications to come and protect this town, protect this municipality. Of those qualifications, we're talking about incident command systems. I myself and other members are able to stand up their own incident command and run it. And when I say incident command, for those who do not know what incident command is, think about Hurricane Katrina, think about Sandy. Swift water technicians. I know there's a 100-year flood that happens every 100 years in this very area that we're standing. If people get trapped in that, if people get caught up in that, who's there to help them? We might have to rely on somebody coming from 30 minutes away. It only takes 30 seconds for somebody to drown. Hazardous materials. Hazardous materials can be anything from oil to the right amount of Coca-Cola being transported through the town. If nobody's there to verify, if nobody's there to identify what the hazardous material is, how far back people should be, how to clean up, we're in a load of trouble. The director has been able to gather people in a very short amount of time and have people on shift every day, almost every day, for the last 3 months. I don't know the precedence of that. I don't know what it was like years ago. But I do understand that houses are being covered. Businesses are being covered. On top of that, when events go on downtown, the trucks are there by active crews who are ready to respond at any given point in time. They're not just there for show. They're not just there once or twice a month. This firehouse is now acting in a paid capacity, more so than it would have been with a volunteer capacity, where people just pop up whenever something goes on. We're here even when nothing's happening. We're ready to respond, versus leaving our beds, taking 2 to 3 minutes to come down to the firehouse to get dressed, then jump in a 45,000-pound vehicle, fly through town, all of that at a time. Somebody's lost their house, somebody's lost their life. And as a firefighter, one of the worst things, one of the worst parts of our jobs is talking to people after they lost everything. Sorry, that's my time. Thank you.
Happy Wednesday, Maureen Taylor Ford, 117 Branch Street. Just a quick question because I'm just actually trying to learn. My husband and I were trying to understand this. So here it says, the old business, the latter half says authorizing chairwoman to negotiate employment agreement with the same. What exactly does that mean, Nicole? Does that mean that you as the chair are going to be the sole negotiator for the employment services of this new appointed director of services, fire services? Or what about the employees? Who negotiates the employee salaries? Is it also you, Nicole, or is it the whole board? So as a civilian, prior service person, I'm trying to understand my town and understand how the fire commission works. So is this just for the fire? Obviously it says for the fire director, but my question is, so who negotiates the employment contracts for the firefighters? Is it the entire board, or is it still just one sole person?
Ma'am, with regard at least to the resolution. So in the event the resolution passes and the fire director is appointed, where it says chairwoman to negotiate employment agreement with same, the intention there is that yes, the chairwoman would negotiate the terms of a contract with the new fire director. However, the actual contract itself would not be binding or approved until it's formally presented to the Board of Commissioners, and there'll be a public vote on that.
And this is based off the New Jersey statute, I'm assuming the New Jersey state statute of
Yes.
the 5-panel fire commission law board, something you guys have in Jersey, right?
Yeah, that procedure is in compliance with New Jersey law. With regard to the, I guess you referenced contracts with other firefighters. I'm not specifically aware that there are individual contracts with other firefighters. I would imagine that if there are, those would also be presented to the board for approval. This is the interim solicitor we were appointed last month. I just have not been presented with that issue yet, so I
So the
unfortunately don't have an
chairperson
answer.
would only be concerned with the fire director's salary, not the salaries of the employees that work here. No incentives for the volunteers, nothing like that.
At least with regard to this resolution, that's entirely, pertains entirely to the fire director salary in the contract that would go before.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Riley?
Safe Raleigh, 25 Broad Street.
Who's the solicitor?
Excuse me, what's your name? You look familiar.
Michael Watson from Brown and Connery.
Where'd you grow up?
Had nights.
Okay. Did you wrestle?
No.
Are you an attorney for representing West Hampton by any chance?
Yes, we are a labor and employment council to West Hampton.
How about Lumberton?
Yes, we're a labor and employment council to Lumberton as well.
Okay. You familiar with what's been going on here for a couple months?
Not sure what you mean.
You don't remember what happened to the last guy that was sitting in that seat?
My understanding is that he resigned.
And the guy and the woman before him?
I'm not aware now.
Yeah, she resigned too. Nikki, this ain't gonna end well.
Same.
This
Same
is
on
this
topic.
is silly. Do we know how much money it's cost the town defending the indefensible? Do we have any idea how much it's cost the town?
That would be something that finance and lawyers would do. We haven't gotten the bills yet.
Is that true? Do you have a ballpark figure what it's cost?
No, until we get those in, we won't know anything.
Okay. Oh, I think they still have to bill you. Coleman has got to bill you. Is that right? Has Coleman and whatever the.
I'm sorry, what does that have to do with
It has nothing to do with this.
I'm sorry, yeah, I
Please
stay
stay
on
on
topic.
topic.
So, I forget the topic. Oh.
The topic is the resolution.
So you, so,
Putting in a
yes,
fire-
you're gonna vote back in the guy that lost his job. And you're doing it wrong, and there's probably gonna be something else that comes along again, it's just wasting time. So, you have an opportunity, you and June, to do the right thing. And it's on you, I guess. Thanks for your time, it was nice meeting you, Councilman.
You as well, thank you.
Anyone else? Hello, Mr. Young.
Tim Young, 533 Garden Street. Just want to thank Mr. Laraway. Gave me a good way to start my comments here. The last time that this board sat in 3 minutes of silence was when I did it, I believe at the initial appointment of Director Carty at that time. At the end of that meeting, I did go to the back of that room, shook hands with Mr. Carty, and told him that as long as you do the right thing for this department, I would support him. So I'm here today to say that I believe he has done the right thing for this department. I understand some of the background political stuff, totally get it, doesn't go away. But as far as improvements to this district, there have been many. New equipment, new gear, duty crews 5 days a week. You know, they're actually getting out during the day. That's something that has not happened in quite a long time, and it just came from a new idea to the district that came from Director Carty. So I support that you would bring him back again. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim.
I don't think we should. Double dip.
Next.
Jim Luke, 322 Washington Street. I urge you to vote no on this because it claims it's the second reading, but you need to have a first reading first. And since the September 19th meeting was a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act, no first reading of the resolution occurred. This district just got done spending however much money on attempting to put the Director Carty into this role, want to be thrown out by the court because it was improperly done. It looks like we're not learning the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Once again, it's probably going to end up, to the point where the authorities are going to say, you did this wrong again, and then it's going to be thrown out, and we're going to be back in the same spot, leaving us without a director. We should be looking to hire a director, yes, but we should be looking to hire the most qualified director, the director that won't divide the community, that won't bring division and chaos to our community, and someone who's actually going to do something we need. Look out for the best interest of the citizens of Mount Holly, not look out for the best interest of themselves. And that's what we need in a director, so I urge you to look for that in a director and hire someone that director and not, once again, put the town's safety at jeopardy by causing undue litigation by improperly putting someone into the role. Thank you for your time.
public session. Can I have a motion to close the public session, please?
Second.
We have one person.
Oh, wait.
Hold on.
Hello. Hi, how are you? My name is David Villago, 166 from Conquest Road. How are you? It's a little confusing. It seems like there's a lot of infighting and nepotism going on here. Doesn't look well. You hired new attorneys, new people coming in. I'd like to know how many firemen, how many fire volunteers were fired, and how many were hired. It's interesting to know because they said they weren't gonna fire a lot of people. They weren't gonna let a lot of people walk out, and the gentleman before me said, or said he was coming in new. So that's an interesting point. I also have a question. Why don't we hire within Mount Holly? You know, we have good people in Mount Holly.
You real fast. Does that have anything?
Yes,
to do
it
with
has. The
resolution?
director hires them, so that has something to do with it. If
I'm
that's
sorry,
the
say
same
that again?
director that you're gonna be appointing, yes, it does. So why don't we hire from within? It makes a shorter time for people to respond on call. He mentioned, the first person mentioned that he had all these qualifications, and you didn't say anything to him about it. But now you're voting.
All residents.
There are always, the applications are there. The volunteers have the option.
But
to
you
sign
have the
up
option
to-
also of turning them down.
To sign
So
up for the
it's
duty
not
of
black and
fire.
white. So let's be honest about that. You have the option of saying they don't qualify for whatever reason, and they may qualify 150%. So let's be honest about that. So we can hire from within and have the people within the town. Because if he lives, I don't know where the first man who spoke lives, but if he lives 20 minutes away, how's he gonna get here on time? And then I went to Hainesport, and they're a volunteer fire department. And it's interesting because are we gonna be a paid fire department or a volunteer fire department?
Sir,
And if that's the
sir,
case,
the
then the
individual that spoke the
taxpayers,
first time
tax,
lives on Garden
tax
Street.
goes up. Sorry, sir?
The person that spoke the first time lives on Garden Street.
And it is an active.
Okay, we got that. So, and what about the others? Are we checking all the others? So we'll leave it at that.
There's a process for.
Okay,
to
that's
be
fine.
firefighter.
So are we gonna turn it into a paid? And are we gonna, the taxes are gonna go up for everyone? How is that gonna work out? 'Cause usually that's what occurs as
There's
it
no
goes
intention
along.
to
It's a
go to the paid fire
process.
department, there's a duty crew that's paid to do it great.
It's either we
So
have
then
to
little by little, it
protect
is
the
gonna
town
be
and
paid.
keep paying
Little
us.
by little, it's gonna turn into a paid thing. So taxes go up. Come on, let's be honest
Well,
about
let
this.
me ask you a question. Would you
Ask
rather
away.
taxes go up to, which they are not, because we're not saying that they are.
They
Put
didn't?
that on
They
record.
didn't go up? You're saying this year they didn't go up? On record, you're saying they didn't go up on record?
I didn't look at my tax bill, so I can't answer that.
I looked at my tax bill, it went up.
I honestly.
So go ahead, I looked at it honestly, and it went up. Go ahead.
May I finish?
Yeah, you may.
The, now I lost my train of thought because I kept.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. So we need to have people that are qualified and stop this infighting. We need to have people that are gonna be harmony and stop this bickering. We need people that live in the town. Live in the town, work in the town. And if they move away, fine. And they qualify, fine, but they live in the town. Thank you.
George Saunders lived in the town. He applied. They worked
Oh.
30 years.
Oh, and is the pay gonna be retroactive?
Now, can I close the session? Yes. All right, we have a first and a second on closing the public comment for this resolution. Can I have a roll call, please? Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Bone?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd? Yes. Ms. Gaskell? Yes. And yes for myself. Motion passes to close the closed session. Moving right along, resolution number. I know, but I can't see my contacts now. 2025-48, on second reading, resolution appointing the Director of Fire Services and authorizing Chairwoman to negotiate an employment agreement with the same by title on second and final reading. have a first?
So moved.
Second. Roll call, Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Logue, Ms. Logue,
Solicitor, if I heard you fit, there was gonna be the first reading, how would I respond if I don't want to, if I don't believe this exists, how would I probably respond? Am I telling you why? I don't think I'm permitted to say that. I am permitted to qualify in a second. Okay.
Could you please speak up so we can
no,
understand what he's
this is a
saying?
private conversation.
I'm sorry, if you'll give me your indulgence, I want to make sure I'm doing things correct. I appreciate you raising your patience.
No, and I'd like to qualify that by saying I don't believe we held a legal vote on the first reading of this.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Shepherd?
No.
Ms. Gaskell? Yes.
No.
And yes for myself. Motion passes. All right. Moving on to new business. Resolution 2025-050, resolution authorizing compensation to the Director of Fire Services. Can I have a motion?
I have a question.
Roll call.
If passed, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I started second.
Yes.
Roll call and then I can.
You should ask your question before.
Perfect. Is this, if this is successful, does this intend to be executed as of today, or will there be a retroactivity to this?
It would not be retroactive, it would be effective, the resolution would be effective today, the compensation would begin if and when the new director starts providing services to the district, but not prior to today.
But the resolution is effective today.
That's correct.
Upon the first hour of work, as it were.
Correct.
Okay, thank you for that clarity.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. And I'm gonna do the roll call. Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Gaskell? Yes. Ms. Logue?
No.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
And yes for myself. Motion passes. Sorry, resolution passes. All right, resolution 2025-051, resolution adopting a social media policy. Can I have a first?
No, we have some questions first.
I'll make a motion.
Questions?
Josh, you motion? Second. Judy, you second. Okay.
Now, was this,
This is what-
social media policy was confirmed by the new solicitor to be within all the laws, as stated by the government?
Yes, it's my understanding actually the last solicitor also looked at it, had some revisions, and then our office looked at it, had some revisions, and at this point we are confident it's legally compliant.
All right, thank you.
I had some questions too. It does say that things will be removed, and then archived if necessary. I'm curious if anybody present can tell me whether or not we've already been archiving things that have been deleted from our website, our Facebook page.
I do not know that answer.
Who is in current possession of our social media?
Right now,
Yes,
it would be myself and Mr. Young.
so you
As
two,
of right now,
so you two are
Prior
the
to
only two
that,
that have been
it was the
posting since
director.
the directors.
Mr. Young, I don't post, I just have access.
So you and Mr. Young are currently the only administrators on any of our social media pages?
Yes.
Okay. Will a list of all administrators be available to all members of the board?
Yeah, it's just us.
I'm wondering if we can possibly amend this to include language that whichever administrator is making the post would add their initials to that post, so that it is transparent with the public.
It just comes up with Mount Holly Fire.
No, I get that, but when you type in the caption of whatever it is you're posting, at the end of it, whether we assign numbers to our admins so that they can have anonymity, but at least so that there would be some internal accountability as to know who is putting what out there. So if we, if we had, let's say we had 3 administrators, could we assign them numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then at the closing of each caption on each post, assign that number at the end of it?
I don't find it necessary. Would have to be a motion to do that, correct?
That, you could do that, if you were going to do something that, you'd certainly recommend the numbers option versus the initials.
Sure.
But to amend the policy here, there would need to be a motion, a second, and an approval for whichever the amendment would be.
Okay, and this policy can be amended at any time by the board, is that correct?
That's correct,
Excellent.
through a resolution. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Go about this now. It would be a walk-on to amend.
Well, I mean, no,
Well, no, I need to get it.
I'd like to table this. Do I do that now that there's already an open vote on the table? Like, I don't know what the protocol for that would be. I'm comfortable knowing that it can be amended at some point in the future. I would obviously like to have that included. I'm under no illusion that it will be. Right? So, I mean, if I ask them, do I have an opportunity right now to ask for this to be tabled? To call for a vote for it to be tabled?
You call for a vote for it to be tabled.
Okay, so do I make a motion to table this? Or do we need something else to happen prior to
It's
that?
just a motion to table it.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this until such a time as we can maybe discuss it and have a fullness of input from every member of the board, as well as maybe some feedback from our firefighters about what they would like to see represented on their social medias and how they would like to be held accountable, so we can have a bit more transparent a conversation about how everyone who's a member of this community will be exercising their right to free speech and celebration of
So
the
that's-
district as a
We
whole.
have a first. Do we have a second? It's just a motion to table.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call. Mr. Brown?
No, and I'm gonna say that I think we need a social media policy immediately.
We've already tabled it a bazillion times, so. Ms. Lowe?
No.
Motion to table. This is what.
Oh, yes, I would like to table it, yes, please.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
No.
No, it's tabled.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Gaskell?
Yes.
I get it.
And no for myself. Motion does not pass. Okay. Now, moving on to do the actual resolution vote. Resolution 2025-51, resolution adopting a district social media policy. I already have a first and a second. I need a roll call. Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lowe?
No.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Gaskell? Yes. And yes for myself. Motion passes. Next, resolution 2025-052, resolution authorizing execution of lease agreement for historical artifacts between American Emergency Squad and Mount Holly Fire District. Can I have a motion? I make a motion.
Second.
Can I have a roll
I have some questions about this one. Are there any costs to us with regard to storing these things? There's just I received a truncated list, and it's meant to be.
Nothing truncated on that. That's a little long list.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, we're asserting that we're going to be responsible for liability, loss, or damage. Are there appraisals available on all of these items? They've been provided to the district, so we have an expectation of what our expense might be if something were damaged or stolen?
Mr. Young?
No, there's no appraisal on
So we don't have a concrete number as to what the current value of these items that we're leasing from you would be. and what damages we might be responsible for in the event that they were damaged, lost, or stolen?
Does not currently exist.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would it be possible to amend this to require America Squad to provide us with that information prior to this agreement so that we know what we're accepting liability for?
Chair, I'm sorry, the fire chief has a statement that would be helpful.
Can we just clarify that it's for the EMT stuff that June has been working on?
Yes.
So we don't have a misconstrued of what it actually is.
Well, yes, our artifacts and
Correct,
everything that
yes.
we've been working on
So
for
the
months
public
now.
knows it's all the antique stuff. They've been moving, yeah, that's all.
Oh, please, for clarity, especially chief, members, everyone present, I absolutely adore the idea that I received a very long list, very detailed list, with this resolution about the items in question, and I think it's a wonderful addition to our historical collection, and I look forward to the day that it can be, displayed. But this lease does put us squarely responsible for its
I'm just
care,
trying to
maintenance,
clarify for the
upkeep.
public who may not know.
But no, and I think that's wonderful, and I think it makes the fullness of information for them. My question is,
Say no to the vote.
well, no,
I wanna,
Yeah.
that way we can move on, because we need to continue with the artifacts. And make sure, because Carl, Tim, Barry Hunt, and June have been doing a fantastic job getting the artifacts here. And yes, it is a long list, which is why I provided you with the list, so you knew exactly what was coming.
great, but that, I'm sorry, maybe I'm not being clear, okay? This agreement says that we're responsible, okay? So if someone steals something from here, the district is responsible for either the replacement or the compensation of America Squad for that thing.
Rooms are locked,
I'm sorry?
rooms are locked. The building is secure, and I have cameras,
Okay.
everything's under camera.
Well, I mean, that would have been great information for me to have. Maybe I could have sped things up if anybody communicated that to me.
You've known we've had cameras in the building since it was the latest camera.
I'm sorry, where are these items being stored?
The cameras?
Where are the items that we're leasing being stored?
Upstairs in the museum. They're all throughout the museum rooms where they're supposed to be. And down, yeah.
And is it correct that they've been on
present?
is it correct that they've been on the premises since August the 11th?
Mr. Young?
I don't recall the date that they.
Okay, because we're saying the loan period shall begin on August the
I
11th.
think that's just when.
But we're voting on it today, so somebody agreed to that on August the 11th. Can I ask who did that?
Probably the director, when he was the director,
And there's a reason why it wasn't brought before the board?
because they weren't finished.
They weren't finished what? Agreeing to store it here?
We weren't finished moving, it took 2 times to move it.
To move what? To move it from where, June?
From America. Aren't you understanding that what was going on? It was in Americas, and we wanted to sign the lease to bring it here, and it took us 2 trips. Can actually.
So, right, but typically speaking, when you sign a lease to move something, you don't move it in until the lease is approved.
This was
Okay.
supposed to be brought to us in September, and it didn't get up. That was the issue.
Okay, so again, then you've known about it for months, and this is the first time I'm seeing it. It's 48 hours ago
It
then.
was just handed to her as the acting director.
Uh,
My God.
Well, please, do explain to me how it was supposed to be brought up in September. You know that, but I don't have it until now. I mean, you do understand my confusion, do you not? I mean, this is a practice of the absurd.
Roll call, Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Gaskell? Yes. Ms. Wood?
I abstain.
Thank you. Ms. Shepherd?
No.
Thank you. Yes. And yes for me, motion passes. Next. Resolution 2025-053, resolution adopting the policy for appointment of volunteer fire officers for Mount Holly Fire District Number 1. Can I have a first? Second.
And I have some questions about this one, which will surprise no one.
Yes.
Section 40A of the Fire Code establishes in 40A:14-70.1, subsection B. The members of the company shall be under the supervision and control of the Board of Fire Commissioners, and performing fire duties shall be deemed to be exercising governmental function. However, the appointment or election of the chief of the volunteer fire company shall remain the prerogative of the membership of the fire company as set forth in the company's certificate of incorporation or bylaws. Can someone explain to me how we have a policy electing a chief when the law clearly establishes that the company is responsible for that? And has historically been responsible, especially in our own bylaws where it's listed.
Well, for over 20 years.
And I don't understand why we would find ourselves with the audacity to dictate to the company who should be their line officers. Who are we to make that decision for them without any input from them?
We're the district.
You're right, we are the governing body that oversees the policies in our agreement with the company that was shut out of this building for months with keys, that has been consistently disrespected, that we now have wonderful members of the community that are coming in to cover paid shifts so that our houses and our homes can be safe. But we are not uplifting the volunteers who have given their blood, sweat, and tears to put all of those things upstairs. And now we have the audacity to dictate to them who should be their officers?
Volunteers are helping.
I'm not suggesting they're not, June. I'm saying, who do we think we are to offer a policy of, we'll be selecting your chief, and you'll just like it?
Mr. Mason was appointed.
I also have a question. I also have a question. Why are we doing this now in September when this is usually done during reorg? I believe who's on the top.
If you read it, so that way there is timing, so by reorg, we can get everybody in place.
So this is due to the timing, so the reorg, everyone is in place, so by January.
Did you, yes.
Now, I see this gives anyone who is a current line officer, if they have to meet this policy, they only have 2 weeks to update their personal qualifications. So if you wanted to be a line officer and you were a line officer here, to meet qualifications, you are only given 2 weeks if you were previously a line officer here to meet those expectations. There's no grace period, and there's no time for someone who has been a hard-working contributor as a line officer in this company to get their additional qualifications if they don't meet this current. Now, I don't know if people don't, but I do believe that is a shameful act to not let people know and not give anyone time more than 2 weeks to meet these qualifications.
Well, I think I trust the chief in his opinion. Okay.
Well, what's the chief's opinion?
And I would ask if there's anything in this agreement, in this policy, I beg your pardon, Commissioner Shepherd, in this policy that illustrates that to serve as an officer, you must be a member of the volunteer fire company with the District of Mount Holly and not just a line, or excuse me, not just a duty crew member. Is there anything that makes that differentiation?
You read it?
Well, I'm asking you, you're the policies committee, and I'm assuming that you helped to write this.
Yes.
So please, as my chair, could you offer me some elucidation as to your input on this? And is it in fact influenced by whether or not you have to have a volunteer status?
If they have it, they can apply and they can go from there. That's why it specifies volunteer at the top.
Well, it says volunteer fire officers. It does not say that the qualification needs to be a current volunteer member of the District of Mount Holly.
Commissioner, I would just point you to the purpose from my standpoint. That appears to address that concern.
Can I have a roll call? Mr. Brown?
She's not done.
I don't think that it does, though. Could you maybe explain to me why you think it does? It says to establish clear and consistent standards for the appointment of volunteer fire officers. So then we go on to say that we're appointing them.
Volunteer fire officers within the Mount Holly Fire District.
Right, but not all members that are serving in the district are members of the company, to my understanding. They are merely appointed to that company historically because it's the last man standing, if you will, as all of the companies that we.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't have to be a member of the company.
To be a duty crew member, you do not have to be a member of the company, is that correct, chief? So what I'm asking is not all duty crew members are volunteer firefighters in the district, but volunteer firefighters in the district may serve on the duty crew, is that correct?
Correct, so
Thank you.
when we had four companies, you had four fire companies. The township municipality accepted an ordinance. Through their ordinance, they accepted those four companies to make up the Mount Holly Fire Department to provide the fire services for the township of Mount Holly. Over the years, as companies consolidated, certain ones had dropped off with, unfortunately, America being first. Then we were left with three companies. The fire district then contracted with three. And then, obviously, with the closure of Good Intent, they contracted with the remaining two, which was Union and Relief. In 2006, when the district started appointing the officers, that was the first time that they put in district officers. That is when, as you joined, you got assigned to a company. It didn't matter whether it was Relief or Union. What they would do is assign a couple here and a couple there to keep the roles established so that they could continue their charters. Then over the years, I think it was about 10 years later, somewhere around, Jimmy, if I'm correct, it was about 2015, 2012, they decided to close, somewhere there. So in 2012, when the Union Fire Company decided to close their roles, Relief was the only company left that the district has contracted with.
Right.
So by default, there's no other company to appoint the members to, so when they join, they automatically become a member of the Relief Fire Company. Hence, when they get a line number, everything is with the 10 number, 1050, like mine's 1057, they can be 1064, 1084. I think the stipend guys are in the 1040s, if I'm correct, so they're in the 1040s. So that's how that happened. Yes, the district contracts with a fire company. Whether that contract still exists, I can't answer to, but I know that going forward, it used to be that way and there was a contract in place. So that's how that goes. So that's why when they join, you're joining the Mount Holly Fire Department, it doesn't make sense to join the Relief because now you're gonna get put in there anyway. So they automatically go to Relief because it's the only company you have left.
Sir, you're a de facto member of Relief. Is that accurate for all of our duty crew members? So the duty crew members who may not voluntarily give of themselves to our community to fight fire, are they de facto members of the company merely by the fact that they serve to fight fire in the district of Mount Holly?
They apply to the district for the program. They become a member of the Relief because that's the only contract that we have left standing.
Okay, so I don't think that this clears this up for me, because what I'm wondering is, would we be well served to include in this policy that someone who is going to serve in an officer's position be someone who has voluntarily given of themselves to this district?
If that's your preference, Commissioner, you can move to amend it here.
I'd like to move to amend this policy to include some volunteer service to this district be required for anyone who is to be an officer within it.
I point out as well, similar to the social media policy, this would also be subject to amendment at any time.
So I'm-
approved by the board.
Right, so I'm motioning that.
She's moving to make sure officers must also be volunteers. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please, for a term to be later determined by the board, for a period of time to be later determined by the board. If, we can have a broader conversation about how much volunteer time one must have, but I do think that it would be a valuable investment if someone were asking to lead our teams.
That's fine, I'll second, that's good.
Okay, thank you. All right, so second, roll call, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
We're moving, just so I'm clear, we're moving to make sure the officers have to be a volunteer.
Correct.
All right. That's what I. No. All right, so, yes, Ms. Lowe,
Yes.
Ms. Gaskell, oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Gaskell. Yes, for me, all right.
Okay, so that approved the amendment to the policy. Now we just need a vote on the act to approve the amended policy.
Okay. So, now we're voting 2025-053, policy for appointment of volunteer fire officers for Mount Holly Fire District with the amendment that they must be volunteers to be able to be an officer.
So moved.
Ms. Yeah, you guys, we already had it first and a second, but I guess because of the change. Can I have a roll call? Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Lowe?
No.
Ms. Gaskell?
Yes.
Yes. All that.
Yes, all that. All that, Chair. All that, Chair, so that you can make sure that you're honoring the history here.
Resolution adopting the policy, oh wait, that's what we just did, sorry, that's off. All right, resolution 2025-044, resolution authorizing closed session to discuss confidential personnel matters and matters protect, thank you. Gotta find my paperwork. Got loud. All right, hold on, you move, 2 seconds. Ms. Lowe?
Sure.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Gaskell?
Yes.
You should recuse.
I am recused.
I'll vote yes.
Chair,
Can I ask you? I didn't ask you. I'm sorry.
Chair, for the record, the board just approved resolution 2025-54, authorizing closed session. As always, minutes of the closed session will be kept, and they will be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. However, prior to disclosure to the public, those minutes will be subject to redaction based on the attorney-client privilege.